You're not okay, but no one knows, because you've mastered the art of looking fine. You smile when you're breaking. You say, "I'm good" when you're drowning. You show up, function, perform, and no one suspects a thing. On the outside, you're holding it together. On the inside, you're falling apart, and the loneliest part isn't the pain itself. It's carrying it alone while everyone thinks you're fine. If this sounds familiar, stay with me, because hiding your pain isn't weakness, and it makes more sense than you realize. Here's what most people don't understand. People who hide their pain aren't trying to be mysterious. They're not seeking attention by withholding. They're not playing games. They've simply learned that showing pain comes with a cost. Maybe when you showed pain before, it was dismissed. Maybe it was used against you. Maybe it made things worse instead of better. So you adapted. You learned to suffer in silence, to cry only when no one's watching, to fall apart in private and rebuild yourself before anyone sees, not because you want to hide, but because hiding became safer than being seen. Here's where this often begins. Many people who hide their pain grew up in homes where emotions weren't welcome. Maybe your parents were overwhelmed with their own struggles. Maybe there was no space for your feelings. Maybe you learned early that your pain was an inconvenience. So you made yourself small. You stopped crying in front of people. You stopped sharing when things were hard. You became the easy child, the one who didn't need much, the one who never caused problems. And everyone praised you for it. They called you strong. They called you mature. They called you independent. But really, you were just a child who learned that their pain didn't matter. And that lesson stayed. There's another layer here. Some people hide their pain because they're the strong one. You're the person everyone else comes to. The one who holds it together. The one who fixes things. If you fall apart, who will hold everyone else, so you carry your own weight plus everyone else's? You listen to their problems while yours stay buried. You offer comfort you've never received. You give and give and give while running on empty. Because being strong became your identity, and showing pain feels like losing who you are. Here's something that might sound familiar. Someone asks how you're doing. For a split second, you consider telling the truth. But then something stops you. Maybe they won't understand. Maybe they'll judge me. Maybe they'll treat me differently. Maybe I'll become a burden. So you smile and say, "I'm fine." And the moment passes, and you carry it alone for another day. Here's the mask you've learned to wear. On the outside, calm, collected, put together. On the inside, exhausted, overwhelmed, barely holding on. You've become so good at wearing the mask that sometimes you forget it's there. You perform okayness so well that you start to believe it yourself, until you're alone, and the mask comes off, and everything you've been holding hits you all at once. That's when you feel it. The weight of pretending, the exhaustion of performing, the loneliness of being surrounded by people who have no idea. Here's what hiding pain actually costs you. When you never show your pain, people assume you don't have any. They don't check on you because you seem fine. They don't offer help because you never seem to need it. They don't know you're struggling because you never told them. And then you feel even more alone, not because people don't care, but because they can't care about something they don't know exists. Your mask protects you, but it also isolates you. Here's the trap. Hiding pain feels like strength. You tell yourself, "I can handle this alone. I don't need anyone." I'm not weak, but strength and silence aren't the same thing. Real strength is letting someone see you when you're not okay. Real courage is saying, "I'm struggling. I need support." Real independence is knowing when you can't do it alone. Suffering in silence isn't strength, it's survival. And survival shouldn't be permanent. Here's what's actually happening when you hide your pain. You're protecting yourself from vulnerability. Because vulnerability has hurt you before. Maybe you opened up and were dismissed. Maybe you showed weakness and were judged. Maybe you trusted someone with your pain and they used it against you. So now your nervous system sees vulnerability as danger, and hiding becomes automatic. You don't even decide to hide anymore. It just happens. Your walls go up before you even realize they're there. Here's what I want you to understand. Hiding your pain makes sense. It's not dramatic. It's not attention-seeking. It's not weakness. It's a response to experiences that taught you showing pain wasn't safe. But those experiences were then, and this is now, and maybe now. There are people who would hold your pain gently, people who wouldn't judge or dismiss or use it against you, people who would feel honored that you trusted them enough to be real. Not everyone, not all the time, but someone, somewhere. Here's what happens when you finally let someone see. It's terrifying at first. Every part of you wants to take it back, to minimize, to say, never mind, I'm fine. But if the right person is there, something else happens. They don't run, they don't judge, they just stay. And in that moment, something inside you shifts. You realize I can be seen and still be loved. That's the healing, not fixing the pain, but sharing it. Here's what helps. Start with one person. You don't have to tell everyone everything. You don't have to post your struggles for the world. Just find one person who feels safe and tell them one truth, not the whole story, just a piece. I'm actually not doing great. I've been struggling lately. I'm having a hard time. That's enough. That's a start. And pay attention to how they respond. If they dismiss you, they're not your person. If they make it about themselves, they're not your person. If they judge or lecture, they're not your person. But if they listen, if they stay, if they say, I'm here, that's someone worth letting in. Here's the truth about your pain. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you broken. It doesn't make you too much. It makes you human, and humans aren't meant to carry everything alone. Your pain deserves witness. Your struggles deserve support. Your darkness deserves light. Not because you can't handle it alone, but because you shouldn't have to. So here's what I want you to know. If you've spent your life hiding your pain, you're not fake. You're someone who learned that showing pain wasn't safe. But hiding and healing don't live in the same place. And the mask that protected you might be the thing keeping you stuck. You're allowed to be seen. You're allowed to struggle out loud. You're allowed to be human in front of other humans. The right people won't love you less for it. They'll love you more. Because they'll finally know the real you, and the real you is worth knowing. Comment, I hide my pain, because saying it is the first step to stopping, and you've been hiding long enough.